Hey Lupe in Dallas, Texas. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you and the rest of the world how I cut non-prescription transition lenses for your new Rayban 2140 original Wayfarer, color 901, which is the classic shiny black and the 50 eye size. So let's take everything out of the original packaging. Of course, your Italian leather Rayban case, your Rayban frame, junk mail that comes in your case because you just don't get enough of it in your mailbox, so they have to include that with it in your case. And of course, your Rayban frame. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on one of the temples to protect the temples from rubbing together while it ships to me from Italy. And of course, I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you, so you'll just be just as protected. But these are the classic, most famous Raybans in the world. Again, this is Rayban number 2140, color 901 in the 50 eye size on this temple, handmade in Italy. This is the true thing. Of course, has the triple barrel hinge, one of the strongest frames out there, and of course one of the classic, the most famous hipster glasses of them all, and we're going to show you how to do that. I'm going to take out your original heavy glass breakable lenses. I'm going to pop these out and set these heavy things down on the counter, and I'm going to take your Italian frame and put it into my French edger, and hopefully they won't fight. I'm going to wake up the computer and tell it to trace your frame. Everyone wants to know, how does the computer know what size or what shape lens to cut? This is why. This stylus is going to pop up and trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Rayban frame and you will receive free, clear, single vision prescription or non-prescription fashion lenses, which is in your case. And of course, you're just paying the upgrade to the transitions. The transitions are the photochromic lenses that turn dark when you go outside. You know that, but in case anyone else is watching, they may not. This is going to be that green circle, or the green shape is going to be the shape of your lens. I just work on it while it's magnified there. So I'm going to take your lenses. These are the Aspheric Airwear Transition 7 Gray lenses. I'm going to take them out of their original packaging. There we go. That is your first lens, and in fact it has a little plastic laminate on the front of the lens to protect it during shipping so that nothing rubs against the front of the lens while it's still inside the packaging. I'm going to take that off, set that on the counter because that's not needed, and I'm going to put your lens into, go ahead and get the second lens ready. I always do that, do two at a time. Take that little sleeve off. Now this is a block. I like to call it Jenny from the block because I have a bad sense of humor, but I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need a double-sided adhesive sticker, and 3M make those, so I've already stuck one side on there. I'm going to peel the paper away to make this side sticky. Now there's a little silver button on the back. That is a magnet. That's what's going to hold it in place in this arm. I'm going to put it there, get your lens oriented just right, and then I'm going to hit that button, and then the block is going to be applied to your right lens. Of course, this could be the right or the left. Since these are non-prescription, there's no right or left just yet. I'm going to peel the paper away on the second one, set that on the counter, take your other lens, put it there, make sure the magnet lines up on the back of this one, and then hit start. Now if these were prescription, I would put your pupillary distance in, but because it is not necessary. So the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. Where's my stylus? Here it is. The far right of the machine. That's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley there, that's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto your lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and take your right lens, put that into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I just don't know the machine well enough to call it Chuck. And why are you fighting with me? Why are you fighting? There we go. So I'm going to wake the computer up over here. That is going to be the shape of your lens. I know from experience the bevel on the original Wayfarer, now see, I'm wearing the new Wayfarer, but the bevel on the original Wayfarer is deeper than mine, so I'm going to take it down 1/4 of a millimeter, and I may need to do more. These are polycarbonate lenses. I'm not going to polish the edges. I am not going to put a bevel on the front of the lens. I'm going to put a very small bevel, safety bevel, on the back of the lens. I'm going to hit start. That door closes. That clamp is going to shut. And then the lens is going to move into place, and it's going to be traced by two white styluses. They're going to trace the shape of your lens going all the way around. And it's actually going to do it twice, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point on the diameter to know exactly where to place the bevel so it will fit best inside the frame. I could, if these were thick lenses, which they are not, I could move the bevel forward or backwards so the lens is positioned perfectly inside the frame so you would have no edge thickness. Now if you notice, there is water in the background, but polycarbonate cuts dry where plastic and high index plastic cut wet. Now your lenses are made out of polycarbonate material. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into your lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes that never needs to be reapplied, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that have to be reapplied every couple hours, especially in Dallas, Texas. Now if you notice, water has begun spraying. It does this for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle to wash away any optical debris. And now that little arm is moved into place with that little wheel that looks like you'd find on a Dremel tool. That is applying the safety bevel to the rear surface of the lens, so that you have no rough edges on the edge of your lens. In just a moment, this is going to stop. The door is going to open. I want to grab a paper towel and dry your lens off as soon as the door opens. Thank you, door. I'm going to hit that button to open everything up. I'm going to dry your lens off, and we will see. I'm a little skeptical, but we will see. I'm also going to use my thumbnail just to scrape away any optical debris that may be there. We'll see if it actually fits in your frame first time around. I'm going to take the lens, I'm going to tuck it in at this outside corner first, and using my thumbs I press down at the nose. It does not want to go in there, so I'm going to put it back in, and I'm going to take another 1/4 millimeter off of your lens and then hit the retouch button. Now a 1/4 millimeter, for all my American friends who have no idea, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/4 of that distance off, going all the way around until the lens pops into the frame evenly. The reason why I don't want to force it in there, it would cause your frame to stretch, and that would shorten the lifespan of your frame, plus give you an ugly cosmetic appearance, or quite even possibly, the term we use in the business is roll. If you can imagine your frame is like a gutter, if I were to put the lens in there too large, it would force the bottom of the frame to roll outwards and really give you an ugly cosmetic appearance. Now the other thing about your lens is it is aspheric. Aspheric simply means, that's what AS stands for. Aspheric simply means not round. A spherical lens is completely round like a basketball and will give you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when people look at you. This lens is going to be extremely flat and fit in the contour of the frame. When you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses, and then if you want the lighter weight unbreakable bulletproof lenses like I provide, they charge you an upgrade fee for that. And then if you want the aspheric lenses, they charge you a 1/3 fee for that. That is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free just by buying the frame from me. And of course, they don't even let you watch you make it. So this time I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me. Using my thumbs, I pop down at the nose and it pops in easily. I'm going to go ahead and take the left lens, put it into the chuck, flip that over to L, which I believe is Latin for not right, and hit start. And just like before, that clamp's going to shut, and then the lens is going to move into place where again it will be traced by the two white calipers. And again, but this time it is tracing the shape of the left lens as it goes around. As always, measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel so it will fit best inside the frame, so you have no edge thickness whatsoever. You're always going to get the best cosmetic quality whenever you buy lenses from me. I'm extremely particular. I cut every pair of lenses before they get shipped out of this lab going worldwide. And of course, free shipping anywhere in the United States. But I'm going to make sure every lens is perfect before it leaves this lab. I'm going to dry that off, clean that off. So just a moment ago your lens was completely flat. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel placed onto the lens so it will fit inside the bevel of the frame. Now it's going to be a knife-like edge, a very dull knife like me, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. Your lens will be so sharp that it could cut a wet piece of tissue, providing you soak the tissue in a bucket of water overnight and then press down really hard with your lens. You just might be able to cut through that tissue. Did I mention free bad humor with every pair of glasses purchased? Well, I'm kidding, because you might actually get more than one bad joke. So again, the safety bevel is being applied to the rear surface. Now if this were a strong lens, I would also apply it to the front surface, but it is not necessary in this application. How's that for a fancy word, application? It's another fancy word for I ain't gonna do it. See, that's what makes me a professional. That's what makes me a licensed professional in the state of North Carolina that I ship everything from. And of course, I'm glad I mentioned that because there is no tax on eyeglasses in North Carolina. So whenever you buy glasses from me, think of it as tax-free weekend year-round. So again, I've moved the frame over. The side I'm working on is closest to me. I'm going to tuck the lens in at the outside corner and using my thumbs, I press down, the lens snaps in there easily. I'm going to remove this block. It is no longer needed. I'm going to remove the sticker, although I charge an extra $1 if you want to keep that on there. Okay, I kid. I take my work very seriously. I just don't take myself seriously. When you love what you do, it's never work. Now, Lupe, there's a small chance that when you get these could be too small or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And I'm no different, and I'll show you in just a moment. I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I take mine off and I press down. I've got a severe wobble because one ear is higher than the other. Or is one ear lower than the other? I can never remember. Okay, I told you it was bad humor. So, I'm going to flip them over, press down on the counter. There is no wobble. But because, as I mentioned, because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, that's why 99% of all optical shops out there will do free adjustments if you ask them. So if you get these and they're too loose or too tight, just pop into your local optical shop. Barely does anyone ever ask where you buy them at. And it only takes about 30 seconds to adjust a pair of glasses perfectly. But there is no wobble on this side. And of course, the difference between the original Wayfarer that I'm holding in my left hand and the new Wayfarer that I think I'm holding in my left hand, I just can't see it anymore. My right hand, left hand, right hand. I didn't know there was going to be so much math involved. Okay, but mine, the silver one, is slightly more rounded. The original Wayfarer is more rectangular. When I set them on the counter, well, that's not going to see. The original Wayfarer in my left hand has more what we call panoscopic tilt, where it comes in towards the cheek and away from the eyebrow. And then mine is a little bit more vertically. That's the biggest difference between the original Wayfarer and the new Wayfarer. Model number 2140, model number 2132. This was made in 1952 and is still a current model. This one was made in 1992 and is still a current model. And every year they add some colors and take away some colors. I just want to make sure that each temple overlaps perfectly. And they do, and the temples are not askew. Now this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate the transitions portion of your lens. I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in my little transitions box here in the corner. Now if you notice, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for all transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now Lupe and everyone else, pay attention. This is important. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun and they will continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final setting. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they will not work is behind the windshield in a traditional car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays so your upholstery doesn't rot, or more importantly, your dashboard doesn't crack from sitting in the sun. That's why they don't turn dark in a car. Now if you have a motorcycle or a convertible, they will darken. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they work best when it's 85 and 90 degrees and below than they do when it's 90 and above. I remind everyone, when it's triple digits outside, you're miserable, they're miserable, everyone's miserable. No one likes to work 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So that's that. That's the first time they've been activated. That's as dark as they get first time around. Again, Lupe, don't worry, they're going to continue to darken. Remember, come on, we talked about this. So that's that. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Lupe, I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut unbreakable polycarbonate lenses for your brand new Rayban 2140 color 901 size 50. This is available in also the 54 larger windshield size, as I call it, and of course it comes in about 40 colors. Just email me if you'd rather have another color, or if you have your own frame that you need lenses for. I'll be glad to do that for you too. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.